Welcome to Smart Wealth with Joshua.
Your daily stock analysis and catalysts talk. Today we're looking at Society Pass.
If you find our talks useful, please consider subscribe, like, and comment underneath to support our podcast. And if there's any stock you want us to look into, leave it in the comments section below.
So let's get into the analysis. The core idea here, the investment thesis, is pretty bold. It's that Society Pass is, well, potentially severely undervalued right now.
Why? Because the market just hasn't caught up yet.
Exactly. It hasn't fully processed this big pivot they're making into Southeast Asia's digital world. It's a classic, high-risk, high-reward play.
Okay, so where is all this supposed growth going to come from? The main driver seems to be TMG Social.
That's the one. It's their big move into live commerce, which is just exploding across the region.
And when we say exploding, the market size is what, something like $90 billion?
Eye-watering $90 billion, yeah. That is the landscape they're trying to carve out a piece of. And look, they put some pretty concrete numbers on this. For 2025, they're projecting overall revenue growth of around 26.3%.
Okay, 26.3%, aiming for what, about 9 million?
An average of 9 million, that's right. But the real story, the point where this thing is supposed to take off, is 2026.
What's so critical about 2026?
That's when TMG Social is expected to really hit its stride. The forecast is for TMG Social, on its own, to bring in $10 million in revenue that year.
And that's not just general e-commerce, right? They're targeting specific areas.
Very specific. They're laser-focused on sectors where influencers really matter. So fast-moving consumer goods, beauty, food, and beverage. It's a very targeted approach.
That sounds compelling, but, you have to be a little skeptical. That space in Southeast Asia is so crowded. You've got giants like Lazada and Shopee. Is 10 million really realistic?
That's the right question. And the answer seems to be that their strategy is just fundamentally different. The big players are about logistics, their marketplaces. Society Pass with TMG is building an influence network.
So they're not trying to beat them on shipping, they're trying to beat them on influence.
Exactly. Embedding the shopping experience right into the content people are already watching. It's a totally different angle.
Which brings us to the financials, because this is where things get a bit murky. You have this huge growth story on one side, but the bottom line is still deep in the red. EPS is still negative, right?
Oh, yeah. The average forecast for 2025 is still negative 43 cents. It is absolutely a show-me story when it comes to profit.
So is the company in distress, or is it just deeply undervalued?
That is the multi-million-dollar question. The market cap is tiny, just under $18 million, and a negative PE ratio like this, around negative 0.79, that usually screams distress.
But there's another way to look at that, isn't there?
There is. Many see that negative PE and the really low price-to-book ratio as signs of major undervaluation, if you buy into the growth story. The argument is the market is only pricing in the current losses, and it's ignoring the huge revenue ramp-up that's coming.
It's a trade-off, then, paying for market share now.
It's a necessary evil for this kind of rapid scaling.
And their recent share offering seems to confirm that focus. All the money is going to working capital and M&A.
Exactly. This isn't about short-term returns. It's about reinvesting every penny into growth, into acquisitions, into AI. They're trying to buy their way to dominance.
Which means the whole thing really hinges on their competitive moat. What is their actual defensible advantage here?
Well, what's so interesting is that it's not really technology, it's people. Their edge is this influencer network they've built, TMGX. It's got over 10,000 creators in it.
Okay, so that's the foundation. But how does that work on the ground? What does that network effect actually look like?
Well, think about launching a new beauty product in, say, Vietnam. Instead of slow, expensive marketing, Society Pass can instantly activate hundreds of local micro-influencers for a huge coordinated live sales event on TikTok.
Ah, so they drive immediate sales through people who are already trusted in that specific market.
Precisely. It's a localized, culturally fluent approach that's incredibly hard for a big international company to just come in and replicate.
You can't just go out and buy 10,000 authentic influencers overnight.
You can't. That's the barrier to entry into that $90 billion market.
And it looks like the market is finally starting to pay attention to this story.
It really is.
Let's talk about the technicals then, because the chart action has been, well, pretty wild. We saw that huge surge, what was it, a 58% gain on December 29th?
It was huge and on really heavy volume, which suggests The big money is starting to notice. If you look at the chart, you can see a clear sort of cup-like recovery pattern forming. It's a big reversal,
Lifting off that 52-week low of around 64 cents.
right, up toward that recent high of 346. It's now trading well above its key moving averages, which is always a bullish sign.
And where's that big one, the 200-day, sitting now?
The MA200, which is that long-term line in the sand for a lot of traders, is way down at $1.43. The price is well above it. In fact, something like 17 out of 22 technical indicators are flashing bullish right now.
We're even hearing talk about a potential golden cross formation, which is a major long-term buy signal.
It's on the table, for sure, but we do need a little caution here,
Right, because things have gotten hot, maybe too hot too fast.
potentially. The RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is up at 75.25. Now, technically, that means the stock is overbought. It could be due for a little pullback.
But there's something else going on underneath, right? Something about the MACD.
Yes, and this is important. It's balanced by what we call hidden bullish divergence on the MACD.
Okay, break that down for us. What does hidden bullish divergence mean for the average investor?
It just means that even though the prices run up fast, the underlying momentum is still really strong. So it's not just hype. There's real buying interest supporting this move.
So, a strong story, powerful technicals. What are the analysts saying is the end game here?
The price targets are, let's just say they're aggressive. Analyst sentiment is very bullish. And the targets range from $18 all the way up to $22.50.
$18 to $22. From where it is now, that's a potential upside of what, over 600%?
667%, or even more. And that's why this stock is on so many radars right now.
Which means we absolutely have to talk about the bear case. When you see numbers like that, you have to understand the risks.
You have to. And the biggest headwind, the main risk, is dilution. That share offering, while necessary for funding, it expands the number of shares out there.
And that puts pressure on the price because your slice of the pie gets smaller.
It does. We also can't ignore the volatility. This is not a stock for the faint of heart. Its beta is incredibly high, 1.97.
And a beta of almost 2 means if the market moves 1%, you can expect the stock to move almost 2%. It's a leverage bet.
Highly leveraged bet. And you see it in the price action. There was a nearly 13% drop recently after a campaign launch.
Yeah.
And the core challenge remains profitability. They have to prove they can stop burning cash.
But the argument is that a lot of that risk is already priced in, given how low the valuation still is.
That's the bull case. Management is banking everything on hitting that $10 million TMG revenue target and making smart acquisitions. If they do that, these current issues start to look very small.
So looking ahead, what are the big catalysts we should be watching for?
I think the big speculative driver is the potential for divisional IPOs.
Specifically Nusatrip, their travel division.
That's the one to watch. An IPO of a subsidiary like that can create something called valuation arbitrage.
Can you explain that? What is valuation arbitrage here?
It just means the sum of the company's parts might be worth a lot more than the whole company is valued at right now. Spinning off Nusatrip as its own public company could unlock value that's currently hidden, which would immediately boost the value of Society Pass itself.
And we should expect more M&A activity, too.
Definitely focused on AI, data centers, telecom, all the infrastructure needed to support and monetize that massive influencer network.
So what's the timeline we're looking at for all of this?
This is really shaping up as a swing trade into the first quarter of 2026. So the next 3 to 6 months are critical. We need to see those revenue updates from TMG Social and real progress on that Nusatrip IPO.
And this is all happening as money starts flowing back into some of these undervalued Southeast Asian tech plays.
So to synthesize all this, Society Pass is making a huge bet on the $90 billion social commerce market. They have a defensible, influencer-driven model and explosive technical momentum right now. The biggest hurdle isn't the opportunity, it's the execution. They have to navigate these financial challenges. The real question isn't just can they hit that $10 million target, but can their model truly stand up if a giant like Sea Limited or Alibaba decides to get aggressive in their space? That's the long-term risk to watch.
That structural competitive risk is the critical element that will ultimately determine if that 667% potential is realized. To stay informed on these rapidly developing digital commerce trends, make sure you subscribe. We'll catch you next time.